Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and thank you to all the new subscribers. At the time of recording this, we're actually at 719 subscribers. Whenever I posted the last video, we were at 601 subscribers, and I had planned, as soon as that video started doing pretty well, I decided that at 700, 800, and 900 subscribers, I am going to be posting more data videos like it from my journey from the beginning of learning how to tune and all that stuff to getting to the point that I am now, where I've set the stock bottom end record twice, and the first stock bottom end 4.8 into the fours in the 8th mile. So anyways, huge thanks, and you guys subscribed so fast that I wasn't even able to announce that I was going to do that before making this video. So this is the 700 subscriber video right here, and this video is also definitely going to make me look kind of bad, and it's wasn't the best track day, but I feel like a lot of people will act like those don't happen, bad track days, and only post their good times and things like that, which I definitely think could be bad, because whenever you do have a bad track day, if you don't see anybody else having that, you kind of think you're the only one, and you think you're the only one that was dumb enough to do this or whatever else, whatever your issue was. Anyways, I'd like you guys to try and guess while watching this video what you think the issue actually is, and try and comment below and see if you're right at the end. So with that said, we'll jump right into this with the video of the first pass. As you can see, it's still spooling fairly slow. And you'll also see me pull the parachute there. This was at a new track that I had not been to yet. This was the weekend after I went out that first track day from my last video. This was in Idalou, Texas. It's kind of a little outlaw track. It's not the best track, but it's a pretty fun little place. And they had just installed their timing system. So anyways, we'll pull the slip up real quick from that pass. You see it went 646 at 111 miles per hour. So I was definitely not very happy with that, since considering the weekend before, these were my time slips. I had gone a 591 at 122 miles per hour, although that was on more boost, which I will show you the data log right now, but it was about the same boost as this pass here, the 599 at 118 miles per hour, and I had also brought it in a little bit sooner. So that's why I was not very happy with that. So anyways, I got back to the truck and I decided, okay, I'm going to pull out my laptop and look at the data log and see what went wrong, or did it not make as much boost, or what happened to make it go as slow as it did. So you'll see here another thing. In my spooling video that I made, I mentioned that in my experience, the air-fuel ratio doesn't have as big of an effect as ignition timing and trying to get it to spool faster. So after the last track day, I had actually fixed the fuel map up quite a bit. So you'll see here, while it was spooling, the air-fuel ratio was it was much closer to where it should have been. You know, right around the mid-11s, a little bit richer than I'd have it at that low of a boost right there, but it comes right up to where I'd have it, and is much better than it was before, for sure. Anyways, it still took roughly 6 to 7 seconds to get up to the two-step, which is still definitely unacceptable. But so I left at 4,200 RPM and 10 psi of boost, just like the last time, and this time I ramped it in a little bit faster, so it came up about 15 pounds of boost pretty quickly, and as you can see, it was pretty rich, mid-10s air-fuel ratio at this point, pretty low on the RPMs, and it starts to kind of clean up as we get in the higher RPM, about 15, 16, 17 degrees of timing right in that area. And you will also notice that the voltage is definitely low. I was still having the alternator issues at this point. I believe it was the weekend after this that I actually fixed that. And you'll also see that I shifted it at 7,200 RPM. I think at this point I had actually got the shift light working, so I wasn't just shifting off of sound anymore. But as you can see, there's not really anything that sticks out in the log that would be causing it to be down, 7 miles per hour and half a second on the ET. But anyways, I got back to the truck and I looked over the data log and I didn't see anything. As you can see here, it really looks like everything's just fine. So we decided to pull the hood off and check everything. We checked all the plugs and all that, and we had actually found one plug wire that seemed like it was a little bit loose, so we fixed that. We checked the engine oil, and that was all good, and it didn't seem like it had hurt the motor or anything like that. So we went ahead and put the hood back on and decided to make another pass. I left the tune exactly the same and everything, and just was hoping that maybe that one plug wire was off and causing it to slow down as much as it did. So anyways, we'll pull up the video from that second pass. As you can see, it looks about the same, and you also may have noticed that we took the parachute off because I definitely didn't need it going, 113 miles per hour. So we just went ahead and pulled that off instead of repacking it. But I'll show you the slip from that one. The ET was slightly better and slightly higher mile per hour, 637 and 112 miles per hour, about the same 60 foot, but still wasn't where it should have been, because that one pass before on 16 pounds of boost from the first weekend was, of course, the 599 at 118 miles per hour. So I was still down quite a bit, and so I got back to the truck, decided to open the data log, see if maybe I could see anything this time. And as you can see here, it looks pretty much exactly the same as the last one. Still pretty rich down low, and it kind of fixed itself up a little bit up top, and then a little bit rich again down low in second gear as well. And same timing, same everything. Nothing new, nothing to give away why it was going so much slower. But anyways, at this point I really should have looked all over the car and tried to find the reason, harder than we really did. But I was also new to this, so I thought maybe it's possible that the weather being so much worse is causing it, or maybe the new timing system at this track was not quite accurate, since it was I believe it was the first weekend with it. So maybe it was one of those factors or something else. Maybe it wasn't actually something wrong with the car. So at this point, a friend of mine actually got a grudge race lined up for $100, and I decided, well, I guess I'll just turn it up and hopefully we'll win the race. So here's the video from that. You'll see that he actually jumped in this one. I don't believe I've seen that in the car though, so I was trying to catch him. And if you see the finish line video here, I actually did end up catching him and just barely got by him. As you can see there, I had him maybe about half a car. It was a pretty good race, really. Anyways, after this one, I completely lost the time slip from this one. I probably ended up tearing it up and throwing it away or something like that, but I believe it was either a 6.1 or 6.2 at 114 miles per hour. So let's go look at the log from that one and see if there was anything in there to show that it should have gained more than that or anything like that. As you can see, about the same spooling, everything like that, same 4,200 RPM, 10 pounds of boost. This time I turned it up some, but I didn't turn it up in the first stage. I added another one so that way I could get a little ways out and then add some more power, just so I didn't cause it to spin or anything like that. So it comes up about 15, 16 pounds of boost again, and then the second stage comes in and it bumped up to about 18, 19 pounds of boost here. And the timing is really conservative, but at this point I really was still just trying to figure things out, didn't really know what I was doing. It was still pretty rich, as you can see, but not really rich enough to be going as slow as it did. You also see here that I grabbed the scramble button in second gear and got up to just over 23 pounds of boost. And if you remember from the last video, the data logs there, it was a lot richer at that boost level. It was in the high 9s air fuel ratio or something like that, and as you can see here, we're up into the mid to high 10s at least. So it definitely started to get it a little bit more figured out. But anyways, I get done with that, and I'm really disappointed by the pass, of course, by the time slip. But luckily, we did win the race and win. I believe it was $100 or something like that. And we had actually, they decided that they wanted to rerun the race, so we were about to rerun the race, and it started raining. So, of course, we decided to load up, and after we loaded up, I think we were just kind of sitting around talking, trying to figure out, what could be causing this. Is it like valve float or something like that, or what's going on? And my friend Jordan, he suggested to check the trans fluid, so we did that real quick, and of course the trans did not have any fluid on the dipstick at all. It was completely dry, so as soon as we seen that, that was definitely not a good feeling. My nice brand new $3,500 PTC Power Glide, built for 1,500 plus horsepower, and I just ran it low on fluid and probably killed it, making 800 or 900 horsepower. But luckily it ended up all right. Here's actually the picture of the pan, what it looked like. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of clutch fluid, and I run high guard, which brand new. It's pretty clear. It's got a little bit of a brown tint to it, but it's definitely not dark brown like this. So that was definitely really burnt, and a lot of clutch fluid in it, as you can see. Luckily, I ended up just cleaning it out and putting a new filter on it, and refilling it and actually filling it properly, and taking it out the next weekend, and it was fine. But I didn't make any changes in between the 2 weekends, and I didn't drain any fluid or anything like that, and I didn't see any leaks or anything. So I'm not exactly sure still what ended up happening, but somehow the fluid must have leaked out and caused the issue. So anyways, curious to see if any of you guys guessed it right. Also, I was going to show you a couple pictures from that same weekend. One of the signatures of the car that many people may not have even seen, because I did end up putting nice headlights on it, was these Harbor Freight headlights that I got for like $12. Whenever I bought the car, it had headlights in it, but the housing was torn up, so I couldn't put a bulb in it. So I just decided to go down to Harbor Freight and buy these real quick, just to have something so I could see on the shutdown. And I mean, they worked just fine, and it definitely made the car look a lot worse, which definitely worked in my favor in getting me some grudge races and stuff like that. The car was a no-time car all the way up until I set the first record pass. So none of these times were public at the time, so it made it a little bit easier to get some races. We'll go to that other picture real quick. There you go. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this kind of shows not everybody has all good track days, and if you've only seen my 7-second passes and all my good track days and good results, you may have thought that I didn't have the days like this where I made stupid mistakes and had to learn the hard way, but I definitely have, and it's definitely been a good learning experience. I've had plenty other screw-ups that I'm sure I will end up showing you. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for subscribing again. I'm going to keep on pumping these data log videos out. I've got plenty to go over still, and of course, as I've mentioned before, at 1,000 subscribers, I am going to go over that first record pass data log, so that'll be a fun one for sure. And we're going to be actually testing with Brennan's car really soon. Hopefully get some good video of that and introduce you to him. And then we'll shortly after be going to the flashlight shootout at the end of this month in Amarillo. So it should be a good time. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.